be about Flesh Pit National Park. Flesh Pit National Park is a fictional place that was created by writer and illustrator Trevor Roberts. He released a collection of brochures, posters, images and letters, which together gives us a good idea of what this flesh pit is, its backstory, and the unusual discoveries that comes with it. Trevor says, the mystery flesh pit is the name given to a bizarre natural geobiological feature discovered in the Permian Basin region of West Texas in the early 1970s. The pit is characterized as an enormous subterranean organism of indeterminate size and origin, embedded deep within the earth, displaying a vast array of highly unusual and often disturbing phenomena within its vast internal anatomy. Following its initial discovery and subsequent survey exploration missions, the surface orifice of the mystery flesh pit was enlarged and internal sections were slowly reinforced and developed by the Anodyne Deep Earth Mining Corporation, who opened the pit as a tourist attraction in 1976. In the early 1980s, the site was absorbed into the National Park System, which operated and maintained the mystery flesh pit. So let's start with the backstory. In May 1973, a letter was written to a Mr. Colton Fleming about the pit's discovery. The letter says, Dear Colton, now you know more than most how I may be prone to hyperbole on occasion, but those Whitmer boys that called on Monday are onto something amazing. I mean really, truly amazing. This isn't any mineral deposit, Colton. At least not like anything I've seen. I went ahead and sent some samples for you and Chris to start looking at. I didn't think you all would believe me if I didn't. This thing that those old boys found is some kind of organic deposit that must go down at least 500 or 600 feet by my reckoning. Not a fungus either. This thing breathes and makes sounds, same as any other creature. And it bleeds. God, how it bleeds, Colton. It's a mess out there. John and some of the others think it might be something from outer space. Most of the hombres we brought out to start the excavation call it a Diablo de Barju, and are real wary of going too close to what we figure must be the mouth of this thing. Right now, I don't think I care what it is or where it came from. I'm an oil man, and I think we're onto something real big out there. Once you and Chris start looking at these samples, go ahead and give Lenny a call to send out his crew, and make sure they bring at least 4 excavators. Pay them whatever they ask to make it fast. Also, there's a card in here for a fella in Carlsbad with some pretty heavy-duty spelunking gear. Pay him whatever he wants to get here by Friday or Saturday. I'll call Beverly to have her put our other jobs on hold for the next 3 weeks, but you should remind her anyway. We need to move real fast on this. Dale Whitmer already left this morning to find someone in Gumption to come take some photos. It'll be a circus once that happens. God help us if the feds come and lock it down. There's something about this thing that's important, and I don't want to see something this special get in the hands of some goddamn game warden. Regards, few months later, after that letter, Mr. Jackson wrote a second letter, which read, "Dear Colton, things are really starting to take off down here. At around 3 or so last night, we broke a new depth record of 1,800 feet vertical descent from the moor. It's a damn shame you and other folks are so spooked by this bit. To be down there in it really is something else. Now don't misunderstand, I'm not saying it's easy. God almighty, it is tough getting around down. It's gullet and such. A man's got to have an iron constitution or a mighty thick skull, and lucky me that the good Lord has seen it to bless me with both. Some of these boys here have rigged up scuba gear, and we've been able to squeeze around down there with some effort. Giant muscles, giant bones, in it so big you could drive a trailer truck through. Strange critters scuttling around in the dark down here too. Big bugs and germs and worms and other queer things that you wouldn't believe. Some kind of crab thing the size of a coyote crept out a week and a half ago, and we caught it crawling around the feed trailer. I got a good look at it before one of Dale's boys shot at it and it skittered away. We had the funeral for the third rust-bound to pass away this month on Tuesday. The papers are already talking gossip more than I like, and I'm hopeful that Bill and the other attorneys can keep the vultures and feds at bay. People don't understand until they've seen it and been down inside it, Colton. We're pioneers and explorers here. This is good work. This is God's work. Nobody knows what this mystery pit is, or what it eats, or how long it's been here. We need some guys with real smarts, not oilmen, doctors, scientists, good decent folks who would have nothing to do with this. I'm mighty glad that you've taken responsibility for holding down the fort back home, while I'm out here playing the cowboy. You're a good man, Colton. The kind of quality individual they don't make anymore. Maybe I'm hoping I can find some of that goodness myself someday. Maybe down in the belly of this beast. Give Samantha and the baby my regards, Jim Jackson. P.S. There's a company out of Fort Worth that I've called up to help with the exploration. I've attached their card to this letter. Give their geologist a call and let them know the details. I'm told they're very good at what they do. Attached is the business card for Anodyne, the deep earth mining company. This profile survey is one of many examples produced early on in the development of the national park. The new Jackson survey, conducted by James Jackson, it combined many prior, smaller surveys obtained by Jackson's team. This survey was printed in several national publications and was a Vista says discover verdant forests, majestic scenery, and cosmic terror. Enjoy legendary trout fishing, geotectonic carnal moans, broken philosophy, backcountry hiking and camping. So how deep is this pit? The depth record for a human was achieved in 1979 by an expedition team which was able to reach an unprecedented depth of 19,102 meters below the entry orifice, surpassing the previously held record of 12,117 meters. At depths below 19,000 meters, the anatomy of the pit begins to noticeably change and become much less anatomically similar to other surface forms of life. Explorations beyond these depths are extremely challenging due to the exotic and largely unknown nature of the pit's lower anatomy. Unmanned expendable probe vehicles have been able to surpass the 19,000 meter depth. However, poor communication quality over anything but telecables have made further exploration cost prohibitive. It's hypothesized the pit may well extend into the Earth's mantle, with many scientists suggesting that the organism may be native to the interior of the planet, having merely surfaced to the upper tectonic plates for unknown reasons. An aerial photo of the pit and surrounding site captures the scale of work that took place from 1978 to 1981 in order to develop and improve the park's interior infrastructure. This is what it looks like from the outside. Here we have a visitor map. It shows the rim trail that people use to walk around the outside of the mouth. If you have more time, you can take a trip on one of their descent gondolas to the interior. Also on this visitor map, you get a hint of the possible dangers that lie inside. It says hiking off trail within the park is dangerous. Mystery Flesh National Park occupies the living and active internal anatomy of the Permian Basin superorganism. Unreinforced areas within the superorganism are lethal and inhospitable to human life. Follow all warning signs and precautions while inside the park. On the interior trail map, there are many sights to see from the terraced hot pools, gastric seas, septum falls, and bronchial forests. But before we look at that, if you are thinking of visiting the Flesh Pit Park, first we should read the safety leaflet. It says, your visit to the Mystery Flesh Pit can be a most pleasurable and rewarding experience, or it can be a time of vexation, distress, or even tragedy. Much depends on how you and your family observe these simple guidelines and avoid designated hazards. Take a minute to read these simple but important safety rules, then go on to a pleasant park experience. Visitors and wildlife within the Mystery Flesh Pit often frequent the same areas within the park. It is likely that park wildlife and visitors will encounter one another, but by remaining calm and following the basic advice of experienced veterinary biologists, you increase the odds of a positive outcome for both yourself and the wildlife. All visitors who partake on self-guided excursions beyond reinforced and enclosed trails within the Mystery Flesh Pit are required to attend an orientation at the lower visitor center. During this orientation, A park ranger will inform you about areas that are closed to visitors due to high fauna activities or recent wildlife-human encounters. It is important to be aware when camping and hiking within the Mystery Flesh Pit and to avoid wildlife foraging areas. Contact park staff to obtain current information on wildlife safety issues. Note: once inside the greater anatomy of the pit, rangers may be able to assist you, but ultimately you are on your own. Identifying park wildlife. Fungal growth. While not typically considered wildlife, large fungal colonies are commonly encountered throughout the Mystery Flesh Pit and should be treated as potentially dangerous. Many varieties of fungal growths exist native to the pit, though they all share a few common characteristics, such as proximity to amniotic spring fluid bladders, as well as spores, which are toxic to humans. Park staff routinely prune known fungal outcroppings, which attempt to grow near developed areas of human activity. But visitors should remain alert so as not to accidentally stumble or fall into a colony. Compound surface fauna. On rare occasions, abyssal copepods and other park wildlife will venture outside of the pit and pull surface animals such as deer, livestock, coyotes and rabbits into the Mystery Flesh Pit. If not eaten by park fauna, these animals may undergo a fascinating phenomenon known as anatomical amalgamation. This process, which is not fully understood yet by park scientists, results in the creation of a compound organism, which is a hybrid of constituent surface animals. No two of these amalgamations are the same, though the resulting physiology often results in similar conditions, such as partial fusing of major body elements and relocation of internal organs to locations on the exterior of the body. Because of the gruesome and seemingly haphazard nature of the combinations, many compound surface fauna do not live beyond a few hours or days from the time when they are discovered. Should you encounter a shambling compound surface fauna, please do not feed it or otherwise engage in activity which could prolong its suffering. Note: in the extremely unlikely event that you encounter an amalgamation containing one or more human constituent organisms, contact a park ranger immediately via one of the emergency telephones installed along trail routes. Macrobacteria. The most common organism encountered by park visitors during excursions into the park are the various subspecies of macrobacteria. While resembling their microscopic counterparts, these creatures are multicellular and reach sizes of up to 12 feet across. The feeding mechanism of macrobacteria is believed to be related to cystic nutrient ganglions found within the Mystery Flesh Pit, around which macrobacteria congregate in substantial numbers. Osmotic diffusion of proteins, lipids, and minerals from within these ganglia into the macrobacteria appear to drive their asexual reproduction capability. Macrobacteria often migrate in colonies consisting of many dozens of individuals throughout feeding areas within the pit's anatomy. Though generally passive in nature, macrobacteria are aggressively territorial on feeding zones and pose a risk to human life through suffocation via an oral groove or arthropods have hard, chitinous carapaces coated in a waxy secretion which allow them easily to slip and travel within the pit, while remaining somewhat protected from conventional deterrents such as firearms and electric discharge weapons. Abyssal copepods are considered hazardous to the safety and well-being of park staff, park visitors, as well as commercial mining operations within Mystery Flesh Pit National Park. Basic safety tips. As the number of visitors to the Mystery Flesh Pit increases, so does the number of human-to-wildlife encounters. The vast majority of these encounters do not result in wildlife injury or fatality. You can help prevent injury to yourself, to others, and to park infrastructure by taking a few basic precautions. Minimize disturbance of anatomical fauna. If you see flora or fauna within the park and it does not appear to notice you, back out of sight and change your course. Move out of the area or quietly observe at a safe distance without approaching or otherwise disturbing it. Disturbance is evident whenever a wildlife change their behavior because of you. If it stops eating and looks up, raises its antenna, secretes scent enzyme, or begins making territorial clicks while trying to locate you, you are too close. While many life forms within the pit seem to be tolerant of human presence at distances further than 200 yards, each creature is different. Use telephoto lenses and endoscopes where possible. Allow migrating bacteria colonies to pass by your camp undisturbed. If you have made sure that the wildlife is aware of your presence, so it is not surprised, and have kept all of your gear under your direct control, allow any organism you encounter to travel unhindered. You may just be afforded the opportunity to safely observe these amazing creatures in their natural environment. Exercise proper equipment handling. Do not leave equipment unattended. This includes tent frames, tents, climbing cleats, bottles, and weapons. Consider using a portable electric fence to discourage aggressive wildlife, such as copepods, from investigating your camp. In areas with damage to amniotic bladders, minimize the amount of fluid that contaminates your clothes and gear. Many life forms within the pit have extraordinary sense of smell and depend on phosphoproteins within the fluid in order to survive. Some will attempt to hunt you if they smell strong concentrations on your person or equipment. One of the warning signs inside the pit reads, "Caution. The venturial environment beyond this bulkhead constitutes the interior systems of a living organism. This environment is actively hostile to human life. Serious injury and death may occur without proper training and equipment." Here are some of the other creatures you'll find in the flesh pit. This chart and many others like it were produced by the Park Service as an educational tool for use in classrooms, museums, and universities. Popular among natural history enthusiasts, the illustrations featured on these posters were the result of intensive expeditions and surveys into the Mystery Flesh Pit. While visitors are almost certain to encounter common fauna, such as the myriad of macrobacteria subspecies, many organisms such as the Venice shamble and abyssal copepod tend to evade trails and high-traffic areas, making them difficult to spot. As a practical tool, these illustrations were useful in training wildlife management dangers when safely dispatching a dangerous organism. For this reason, the designers of this and other charts attempt to represent the scale of the organisms in relation to each other as accurately as possible. More about the abyssal copepod. It is estimated to grow up to 15 to 20 feet tall. They are predatory creatures that live long lives, with some specimens living well over 250 years, and survive by hunting other life forms. They occasionally venture outside of the pit and pull surface animals into the pit to be eaten. Presumably, they also consume fluid with a strong concentration of phosphoprotein that are within amniotic bladders in the pit. Similar to many of the other life forms in the pit, which all have a strong sense of smell, and some even attempted to hunt humans covered in this amniotic fluid. The amorphous shame on the left are clumps of organs that live their whole lives in the folds of the flesh pit. Instead of foraging for food, they extend a tube-like appendage to drink up the liquid aminos and proteins from nutrient sacs. This creature was said to have evolved from an ancestor of the weasel, as you can see from this diagram. There is also the 13-footed mesocleal tridicapod to look out for. Though commonly considered a nuisance animal, the mesocleo tridicapod is a fascinating species which plays an important role within the unique ecosystem of the pit. They are hemovores who obtain vital nutrients directly from the organic red blood of the mystery flesh pit. Most mouth parts enable tridicopods to open incisions in coronary arteries with surgical precision, preventing bleeding and infection. Using two special tubes, tridicopods ingest fresh red blood and filter out nutrients before ejecting the filtered blood back into the artery. When finished, a resin is secreted from a special gland to seal the wound before moving on to a new feeding site. A few more things to be aware of. Be sure to drink plenty of water while inside the pit, because it is known to leach moisture. Make sure to stay on marked trails. Venturing off the path, you may get lost and or digested within unreinforced organs. Here is a picture of one of the fully enclosed trails, offering unparalleled access to the interior of the park to people of all physical conditions. These trails were some of the most expensive to construct and maintain. Now that you're aware of the possible risks and dangers, you're ready to enter the Mystery Flesh Pit. Your encounter with Mystery Flesh Pit National Park begins in the Permian Basin Desert of West Texas. Beyond the familiar surroundings of rugged brush and broad plains is a gateway into another world, away from sunlight, away from the still ground, away from the comfort of the surface world, lies the sublime wonder and terror of the Mystery Flesh Pit. It is an incomparable realm of gigantic anatomical formations and extraordinarily introspective voyages deep into the soul of those who Choking fits usually occur following extensive engineering improvements within the pit. Due to gastric ejecta from the pit entry orifice, eye protection is recommended when directly viewing a spasm fit. Gateway into the deep. Your adventure into the wonder and magnificence of the Mystery Flesh Pit begins as your enclosed gondola begins to descend down into the darkness, away from the blistering heat and light of the Permian Basin. Just when the 20-minute twisting and turning ride down into the maw of this immense organism feels like it might never end, an illuminated structure comes into view beneath your feet. Step out of the elevator car and into the well-lit and comfortable lobby of the lower visitor center, your gateway to an unforgettable visit to one of the world's most unique natural wonders. In the lower visitor center, you can find a variety of amenities, a gift shop, museum, garden, restrooms, and food outlets, including a Burger King and Baskin Robbins. There were rumors circulating that these restaurants served flesh from either the superorganism or the wildlife within it. However, these rumors were not true. No restaurant within the Mystery Flesh Pit National Park has ever served these items, for two main reasons. One, the flesh pit meat, as well as flesh from nearly every other species found within, is very tough and oily, which is quite unpleasant. Even when cooked with a generous amount of seasoning, the mineral-like flavor of the flesh pit meat was unpalatable to even the most adventurous foodies. The second reason is after 1980, intentional, unauthorized damage to either the superorganism or wildlife inside constituted felony trespass and destruction of government property. Also in the visitor center is an interfaith chapel which could be rented for wedding ceremonies. An ordained minister was contracted to be on site within operating hours. The addition of several hospitality facilities in the late 1980s only increased the annual instances of weddings and on-site receptions. The Flesh Pit was, for some reason, a very popular destination to officiate and consummate marriages. That is all for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching and have a good night.